Today you'll learn how to create a WordPress website with Elementor Cloud. So this is the exact design that we're going to be building during the tutorial. This is a health and nutrition type website that we're going to set up. This is just one of the very many designs that are available through Elementor Cloud. This is one my wife particularly liked, so I chose it for this demonstration. But through Elementor Cloud, we get access to the Elementor Pro web builder here. So this page builder is quite easy to use, very straightforward in terms of its visual design methods. And you also have the professional live support here that I've tried out. They're really nice. You can solve any issues within a few minutes, in my experience, on here as well. So this is a very friendly way of getting started in WordPress if you want an easy path to developing websites in WordPress. All right, now this Elementor Cloud package is a pretty interesting product in itself because $99 a year, you get cloud hosting, you also get the Elementor Pro plugin. So for a long time, Elementor Pro has just been a WordPress plugin. You had to supply your own hosting, but now they've bundled cloud hosting along with the plugin. So if you just included the hosting, you're really only paying $50 a year for cloud hosting. Cloud hosting itself they're providing here is pretty interesting because if we click hosting here, we can see that we're actually getting the Google Cloud Platform as your backend. You're getting the CDN by Cloudflare for your content delivery network. You're obviously getting SSL, but to combine these and do that automatically at $50 a year, so that works out to $4.17 a month roughly. I think that's a pretty solid offer. So, I mean, to set these up by yourself, I don't think most people are able to set up Google Cloud Platform and Cloudflare, link that all up and get it running and offer you technical support end to end as well on top of that. So I think very interesting offer. I'm going to dive into the dashboard. Let's try out this Elementor Cloud, see what it's like, and I'll get to some conclusions at the end of the video and see what who I could recommend this product to. So if all this sounds interesting, then keep watching. So once you're logged into your My Elementor dashboard, this is what it looks like. We can go over here and create a cloud website. Now we just need to enter a website name. Let's say we wanted to make a health and wellness website for this example. So I might call this Ideal Health and Wellness. Go ahead and click Next. And then we just need to set up a Elementor Cloud address. Now we can use a custom domain as well later on. So I might just shorten this down before we go ahead. So I'll just make Ideal Health, check the availability here. So that one is available and click Next. And we can choose a category here. I might go with business for this example and go ahead and click Next. So based on that, it's given us some suggestions on some site kits that might suit our project. We can also just clear the filters and view all the 103 site kits that they've got here. We can also just start from scratch. I might just start from scratch. I really like looking through the actual Elementor interface and building from there. So I might just start from scratch. Now this is loading up, so it says it might take a second. So let's just be patient here. So we just have to sit through this little loading screen here. So just be patient while this does its little thing. So that took a couple of minutes and it says, ta-da, your site is ready. So let's go. And that'll take us back to our dashboard here where we can start editing our site or opening our WordPress dashboard. Let's open the WordPress dashboard and see what this is like. All right, so this is just a standard WordPress dashboard. We can actually start with a template up here. So let's go ahead and check this one out. So here you can access all of Elementor's latest templates. So they've got some filters on the side here. We can also search and sort by different options here. Let's see what the new ones look like. So there's some really cool new designs that they've come up with. When I was looking at these with my wife, she actually really liked this nutrition consultant one here. So my wife's an Instagram influencer and she actually really would like to use this one on her own website when she gets a chance. But yeah, this nutrition website will suit this demonstration quite well. You can also go back to your library and choose something else if you like, but we can go ahead and apply the kit here and apply all. And this says it's setting up our kit. First, we need to enable unfiltered file uploads. So let it do that. But then we just have to wait a few moments while it sets up our site kit. So just be patient here. Again, that took about a minute, but it says our kit is now live on the site. If we go back to our dashboard here, we can actually start editing in Elementor here. So let's check this out. So the Elementor page builder is loading up here. And here we are in Elementor. So we're actually free to go ahead and click things. We can start editing content as we like. We can change images. It's all very quite point and click and easy to use. But I think what we'll do is start with our actual logo and our menu up here. So to do that, we head to our hamburger menu, hit our site settings here. And our logo, we'll find that under site identity. So check that out. we can add a logo here. We can choose an image. So we can get one out of our library. We can also upload files here. I might upload some work that I've done. So from my hard drive, I can just upload a couple of files I made earlier for this. So let's open those. These will go ahead and upload. So I'll go ahead and select my logo here. So that's my logo. We can go ahead and insert that one. Now, if you're curious, I just made those ones over on canva.com. So that's the favicon I made, and that is the logo. Canva.com, this is completely free to use, so very easy to use graphic editor. But anyway, back to Elementor here, logo and favicon. We should have that there. There we go. Let's insert that one. So just pay attention to the size there. That's important. So 350 by 100 is the recommended size, and 512 by 512 is the recommended size for your favicon. So just pay attention to those when you're making those images for your website. But let's go ahead and click update there. And the other thing I wanted to do here was in our header, we should have a menu there. So we want to select the menu. We want to select primary menu there, and click update as well. Now we will need to reload this for these changes to appear. So I might just hit reload here and see what we get. Awesome. So we are off to a really good start. Here we've got our logo and our menu. That looks really good. If you're curious about how I chose the colors and fonts, you can actually find the font just by clicking on a piece of text here. You can click that pencil on the typography. We can see we're using one called Trirong. Also, the text color is right there. We can click on that and use that in our graphic software if we want to match those fonts and colors exactly. Now, the actual background color, if we head back to our site settings, you can actually find that under the global colors. So global colors there. You can see all our colors there. We can go ahead and we can grab a copy of that code to use to match up all the colors that we want in our graphic software. We can match up with the designer's style here as well. So that's really quite simple to do as well. All right, so back to editing our site here. So we can start changing the text. So Melvina Harris is the stock name that this page came with. Our name's obviously not Melvina Harris. We can change that as we please. I might go with Alice Flowers for this demonstration here. And we've got quite a distinctive MH there for our monogram. So we can actually make something similar in Canva. I've already gone ahead and made one for my Alice Flowers persona here. So I've uploaded that. So we can click on that. We can actually change it. So you can upload that using the upload tool. Choose the Alice Flowers one that I just made and insert that one. Excellent. So this is really starting to come together now. So let's have a look at this picture of this pumpkin and these lemons here. We can change that. I'll actually get some new images because we've got this one, we've got a picture of the actual influencer there, a few stock photos there, and besides that, a few more pictures of healthy food at the bottom there. So I think we might need about 10 or 12 photos to finish off this design. So let's go ahead and grab some photos. So there are plenty of nice places to get free images from. Pexels.com is one of my favorites. So just head over to Pexels.com. I typed in cooking and there's lots of images that would be suitable for our design here. So basically all I did was just open up a few of these, downloaded the large size, and I got about 10 or 11 of these and we can get on with our design. So let's head back here. Now let's go with this one for a start here. We're going to replace that one. So choose the image. I'm going to go ahead and upload these files that I just downloaded from Pexels. So here are the ones I've got. Let's grab those. Go ahead and put those in. These will just upload. So there we go. We've got our new images on here. I might go with these tomatoes for our top image there. Pop those in. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. One thing I noticed was this image is more of a rectangle. The previous one was more of a square in terms of its aspect ratio. So I think if I crop this image a bit, we can actually get a better fit on that design. So you can open it in your media editor there and we can crop this, and let's just crop that in a bit, and let's just make that selection so it's even there. So I might make it 1282 by 1282. That looks pretty cool. Just shuffle that across. That looks pretty good. And there we can just say crop. That'll take a second. There we go. And just save that. So you can use your favorite imaging editing software, or you can do the cropping in your media library like I just did there. So we can insert that in, and it should be better in terms of its shape. There we go. See, takes up the design space a bit more nicely. So as we go through, pay attention to the actual size of the image. So this one, we've got our picture of our influencer here. If we click on this one, we can see that this one is another square shape. So I think I was going to go with this lady here. And again, I'll have to make this more of a square shape as well. So again, I'm going to crop this to a square ratio. So again, bring that in And I'll make that 1282 again. There we go. And click crop and save it. And then we can go insert that in. And that should be a good fit. That really fits the design quite nicely. And we go through and do the remaining ones as well. So this one here, that one. I think these are all quite square. I should have probably downloaded square images rather than rectangle ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that process and make these all square and replace them. Same method as I used previously there. So I've gone ahead and replaced all those images. Now, they're all square images, but you can see these appearing as circles. I'll show you how they did that. So in the design, actually under, if you click these images, if you click advanced, you can find that under, it should be under mask there. You can see we've got a circle shape. So you can actually have other kinds of shapes if you wish. So it's a pretty interesting little feature. You can jazz up your design in accordance. But I mean, I'm not much of a designer myself. I'm more of a tech guy. So I like to keep the original designer's intentions when I'm working with these, and it saves me time as well. If I stick with the original design, work with it, don't work against it, I think is my method anyway. So scrolling through, these ones are actually quite interesting. These are SVG vector graphics. Now, these are pretty difficult to produce for average people. So I would actually just leave them as is, maybe change the text as I want, or maybe you could just, if you don't like this, maybe just you can remove the whole block with the X button there if you wanted to as well. So you can undo that, Control Z, obviously too. So that's how I deal with these ones. Apart from that, this is all quite straightforward. Again, I could change these images, replace these out, quite straightforward. These are squares again. Cool, so I just use the same method to replace those images. Just paying attention to the size of the image, just check the original image size and make sure that you're replacing it with something of a pretty similar size. Just scale the image in your favorite image editing software and make sure you're working with something pretty similar. This one here is a background image. I think I've got some spinach I can put instead of this one as well. So, I mean, that will look pretty cool. There we go. Awesome. So this curly text here, we can click on that. This is a fairly interesting one. It's traveling on a path, so it's a custom path, and you can actually just change the text. Are you ready to embrace a healthy lifestyle? Are you ready to embrace, I'll call it ideal health. That's the name of my blog. I should mention that up the top, shouldn't I really? Alice Flowers, Ideal Health. Sounds good. But changing the text is very trivial. You just click and change. That's very, very easy. So honestly, that is really the basics of using Elementor. I really recommend sticking with the well-made custom designs that are already included with Elementor. Then you can go ahead and freely modify them and add your own content to suit your own project. You can add extra elements as you want, just drag and drop them in. So if you wanted an extra heading anywhere you wanted, you could just pop that in and change it as you need. Very easy to use, very, very point and click user-friendly method of doing this. Now for the other pages, we'll see we've actually got 4 pages on this setup here. If we go back to our Elementor dashboard here, we can go to WordPress, open the WordPress dashboard. We can check out those other pages as well. So you'll find those in here, pages, all pages. We can see the ones that we've already got on our site here, about, contact, home, and services. So we've been editing the home page. If we want to do the about page, we just go edit with Elementor, open that up here, and we can do exactly the same process. So Elementor will load up. You can go through changing images and content as you wish. And if there was a page that I wanted to add, I could just add a new page in a similar way. So add a page here, and I would call this one, say, cooking, for example. And let's just save that, publish it there. And here we can just go edit with Elementor now. And this will load up in Elementor. And what I'd do here with a blank page is I just build it out based on a previous page. So for example, if I like the about page, I think this might make a suitable basis to start writing about cooking. You could just go down to the bottom here and you can actually save this as a template. So I could type in the about page template and just save that on. And then you can see I've got it saved under my templates. I can just insert that into any blank page now. So if I go back to my blank cooking page, I can go to the templates button there and I can just grab that template. There we go, about page template. I can insert that in. It's going to ask to override the design of the page, which is perfect. That'll pop in that pre-made page and I can call this cooking. As this loads up again, just be patient. There we go. I can just call that cooking. And then I could just start writing about cooking here and just fill it out as I need. Go ahead and click update. And that's all there is to that. The other obvious question is, how do I get this cooking page into the menu here? I can show you how to do that in just a second as well. So back on our WordPress dashboard, we can go to Appearance and Menus here. And this will show us our menus that we have already. See, we've got this one. And we can see our new cooking page is there. All we have to do is click it, add it to the menu, and we should see it appear onto our menu there. And we can put it in any location of the menu that we wish as well. So I can pop that there. If you wanted to remove things from the menu, you could do that as well. Let's say I wanted to remove services. I could click that down arrow there. You can just click the remove button there, and that looks all good. We can save the menu. And as soon as we reload our page, we should be able to see this new menu that we just made. All right, so I think we get the idea here. After we reload this, we can see we've got cooking in here rather than services. All our custom content that we worked on in Elementor is now in our site. We've got our new images in here. Everything's looking really quite nice. So even with my own lack of design ability, I'm just a dumb engineer, I can whip something up pretty quickly using this Elementor cloud platform. As I said, there's a ton of other features that you can get in Elementor. I'm not going to cover them all in this, but I have done very detailed Elementor tutorials on the channel before. So check the description. I'll link to a playlist where you can watch all my other Elementor content. The other thing I really wanted to do before we wrap this up is change this temporary domain name to our own custom domain name. I'll show you how to do that through our Elementor dashboard here. So we head over to manage this website. And here you'll notice it says manage domains. We can actually press the plus button here to add a custom domain. So to do that, we have to go to your domain provider and make sure you have a CNAME or an A record pointing to your Elementor domain. So I'll do this with the A record for this example. So let's copy this one here and let's head over to our domain provider. So I bought this domain IdeaSpot site for this demonstration over on Namecheap. Most people use Namecheap or GoDaddy typically to buy cheap domain names. You just need to go to your DNS manager. So in Namecheap, it's over here under Advanced DNS. We just need to add that A record in here. So add a record, we're adding that A record there, and we're pointing the @ over to that IP address that was given to us by Elementor here. So that goes in there. We click the tick. And the other one that's useful to add here is the CNAME for www as well. So www, and we'll put IdeaSpot site in there as our www address to get www working as well. So this looks all good. We head back here, we say got it, next, put in our custom domain. I'm going to use IdeaSpot site here. We want to set it to a primary domain and also create www IdeaSpot site. So click add domain. There we go. Now this will take up to 48 hours. In my experience, it does not take that long. It also says, by the way, site lock's on, so search engines won't display the site and visitors will need a code. So we can turn site lock off to make the site public as well while we're doing this. So let's head it down here. We can actually turn site lock off, unlock the site, and that makes it available to the public on the internet. So that takes a minute, but let's wait for this to process. Hopefully we can get our custom domain up and working soon. All right, good news. I've been waiting about 15 minutes now and IdeaSpot site looks like it's working now. It's set to primary there. It's green. So we should be able to open a new browser window here and check out our website through IdeaSpot site. So over on IdeaSpot site in a new browser window here, we can see it's all working really nice. We've got our custom domain, SSL padlock's all good. Everything looks perfect. Also, we can see that the nice thing about using these Elementor site kits, they're automatically responsive for mobile as well. So our design is working really well. I'm previewing this as iPhone 12 Pro view in Google Chrome here. So that looks really nice as well. As long as you don't stray from the original design, it's going to look great on any device. You can actually view it responsively and you can see how it depends on the width of the screen. It scales beautifully. You don't need any skill to pull this off with these Elementor templates. All right, so that wraps up the user experience demonstration. As we could see that we were able to create quite a nice looking modern website in a very short amount of time with very little design skill on my part. Admittedly, I was quite happy with those results. So in conclusion, I could say this is an excellent way to create a WordPress website for a non-technical user. So this is one of the easiest WordPress workflows that I've personally experienced. And so my recommendation for this one is for the more non-technical end of the audience. So small businesses, micro businesses, side hustlers, influencers, artists, makers, those kind of users. You guys who are not interested in learning software development, back-end web development, you just want to focus on getting your result published and getting on with your business, basically. So this is a nice choice for non-technical designers as well. So graphic designers, commercial designers who need to create websites but have a limited tech skill. I think this is the position that Elementor Cloud is aiming for. I think another use case is people who are looking to leave places like Wix or Squarespace or similar places like that because you want the flexibility of the WordPress ecosystem. You obviously get tired of paying for all the extra add-ons that Wix and Squarespace keep trying to pin onto you. WordPress has a very large free ecosystem of themes and plugins and tutorials as well. So if you are interested in coming across to WordPress, I think this is probably the most accessible way of doing it because you get your hosting, all the back end is all done for you, and you've got very nice support as well, which I'll talk about now, because excellent live support. I did try out the support while I was testing this out. Now this is end-to-end live support, so most hosts will only help you with the hosting end of it, but this will obviously help you with your dashboard WordPress, and it will help you with Elementor itself because they manage this whole thing in the entire Elementor cloud. It's all included, so they support everything there. So this really isn't possible with any other hosting solutions to get that real end-to-end support. I think this is why this makes it one of the more comfortable ways of coming over to WordPress. If you haven't used WordPress before and you want a pain-free experience where you can have support all across the chain, I think this is a good way of accessing that. In terms of value, the value is here, particularly if you only need one website, because $99 a year, you get one website. You have to pay extra licenses if you want multiple websites. So that's where I don't think it's great if you are trying to do like a small agency, or you're building many websites, or you're hosting many projects yourself. I think the value is really there when you only need one website. So, but having managed Google Cloud and a backend with Cloudflare CDN, if you follow the channel for a while, I've done these kind of tutorials, and that's actually quite technically challenged, but you're basically getting all that plus Elementor Cloud for $99 a year. And so you get an excellent page builder, excellent backend setup. You don't have to worry about managing that server yourself. That's all fully managed by Elementor Cloud. So I think the value is solid if you only need one website, but for multiple websites, there's obviously plenty of competing products that will give you good value as well. All right, that pretty much wraps it up. So there's obviously a link in the description to this deal. If you're interested, please check that out. That helps the channel a lot if you're keen. The other thing I'll do is I'll put a playlist to all my other Elementor tutorials so you can see other things that it can do. There's plenty of stuff you can do through Elementor. I've been a big fan of Elementor for a while. There's lots of good tutorials on the channel already, so check those out on that playlist. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.